Brian Sinceri, the owner of Advanced Talent Solutions, and welcome to the Ad-Vance podcast. With me today is Chris Straight, our Assistant Director of Talent Acquisition over the public sector. Today we'd like to talk a little bit about technology, how we utilize it to benefit our clients, and the added value that it brings. First off, welcome, Chris.
Great to be here, Brian.
Yeah. Well, as we jump right in, quick overview. We're a full service staffing and recruiting company. 25 years we've been serving the Gulf Coast of Florida, and now our footprint runs all the way from Pasco County down to Charlotte over to Orange County. We've had applicant tracking software as part of our technology offering to all of our clients and internally since our inception. And we've done a lot of things right, and we've even done a few things wrong to make sure that we understand the best way to utilize our efficiencies. Today, we'd like to talk a little bit about a couple of different things that we do that make it much more easier for our clients to understand what's going on day to day, track metrics, and at the end of the day, be more candidate friendly, and that we're more efficient with everyone's time, including our own. Ad-Vance has used applicant tracking software since the early 90s when we first opened in some capacity. Before, it was just documenting payroll information and customer and applicant candidate contact information. It's evolved quite substantially over the years, and roughly 5 years ago, we went to a software called Tempworks, which is meant to be a web-based, mobile-friendly applicant tracking portal that benefits not only candidates, but our clients alike. It's come full circle to the point that we can upload any document, we can mass text and mass email to actually create portals for employees and clients to look at things real time. So with that being said, Christopher's lived through the growing pains as we evolved into using applicant tracking software internally for our advantage, and then also to our clients' advantage. Chris, you remember when you first started as even just as a recruiter, that we would document pretty much every conversation, every job offer, every employee conversation and/or information shared on everything in Tempworks, and then it's come full circle to now that everything is web-based and that you can do so much more. You want to give a quick overview of how you started with it, and then now what we're doing just in general?
Sure. Well, what I really like about Tempworks software is it really handles the entire process, everything from job posting, which it will handle for you. If you just put in the text, it'll post the job to the website that you need. We can cater it towards the client, so we can create your own iframe within your own branding, your own software. We can use Tempworks to post directly on your page, and then applicants flow directly from your job board back to our applicant tracking system. So we can kind of make it seamless for your branding for your own particular company. Candidates come into our system. We can manage all the candidates from our system very easy. We can send text messages, we can send email messages, phone calls, everything directly from the system. We can track each applicant, each step of the process of each person working with the applicant, which has really helped us in terms of a team be able to stay organized so that everyone's on the same page and we all have the same information at our fingertips to share, knowing who touched the last candidate, who's spoken with who, and any candidate details that may help us, in terms of finding that person the correct position, the right fit for them. So it does a lot of other things as well, which we can go into. ZipWhip software is one of the systems that we use to send text messaging, mass text messaging. That can all be done within our Tempworks software, where you can mass text a large group of candidates, especially if you have a large order fill of 50 or 100 people. You can mass email them the same message, go straight to their cell phone. That way they can easily read it. They have instant access to that information. It's really made contacting candidates much easier. So that's another one of the great aspects of Tempworks. So another great aspect of the ZipWhip software is the ability to dedicate a single phone line to receive all text messages that come in. And all recruiters can then log into the app on the dashboard and see all the messages that come into the one line. So if you have a recruiter at a job fair, somebody off site, they get a text message.
Mm.
I'm able to easily pull it up and see someone else's text message, answer that, provide an immediate answer. So any of the recruiters can log into that dashboard to see it. It's also a really great tool for sending out emergency bulletins and getting a mass text out
Mm-hmm.
to all employees in the field. So not only is it great for candidates that we haven't yet got employed or aren't yet on the job, but it's also great for existing candidates if we need to send out an emergency message.
Yeah.
Another great software tool that we've utilized is SparkHire Interviewing. So SparkHire Interviewing is a program that allows you to set up questions for a candidate. They then have a certain amount of time and a certain amount of takes to tape themselves answering those questions. And then those videos then get sent back over to the interview panel. So if you have a panel that is unable to meet in the same room, if it's difficult to schedule that panel to meet all on the same day, it's really great for sending out to separate panelists that may not be able to meet at the same time. They can all review the employee interview video,
Right. They
and
can
then
even make
grade it.
comments and grade it and send it back. Correct?
Exactly. So it's a really great way for people that are out remotely to be able to network together and do an interview without everybody being in the same room.
This is mainly in if I may just interrupt for a second, but in the public sector, this is often a common challenge where you have to have multiple decision makers in on a panel, and to get them all on the same page at the candidate's convenience as well is hard, meaning setting up a meeting room or a time. But even in the private sector, when you have so many people that sometimes need to be weighing in on a decision like that, and for them on their own time reviewing the applicant and the information that they are provided, it's an efficient use of time. And again, at the end of the day, when everything is more efficient, we can get more done. It allows us to be more responsive and efficient from top to bottom. Another positive about SparkHire is that it's extremely candidate friendly, meaning that at the candidate's convenience, they can answer the questions that are proposed, actually do more than one take if needed, and present themselves in the best possible light. One of the best parts about this is that they can be already working and do this after hours, so that they can be very responsive to a potential interview request, and do that from the convenience of their own home. We find this really effective in capturing the passive candidate that is already working and may not want to always take time off to interview, or miss work when they're not quite sure if they're going to be one of the final people chosen. In your world, Chris, how are you working with SparkHire right now?
Yeah, we utilize the video interviewing, but another great aspect of SparkHire video interviewing is that we can use it as a coaching tool for some of our current candidates that we're working with. If you are a candidate that is rusty on interview performance, if you have not had to interview in a while, and you would like to get some critique from our recruitment team, you can always tape yourself answering, just generic questions, and then send it over to our recruitment team, and we can kind of grade you, score you, and provide pointers. So it's a great learning tool for our employees and candidates. So even existing employees that would like to be considered for higher level opportunities or other opportunities where they're working, like you said, they can do it on their own time. It's very convenient for them. It doesn't impact their workday. And, it's a great learning tool for people that are a little bit rusty on their interview skill set.
That's a good, very good point. We actually use that SparkHire on occasion with the schools when we do, we have some scholarships that we do with the technical colleges, and as they present themselves in the applicants for the scholarship, we allow them to use SparkHire. It's quite interesting how accomplished people can be with a mobile phone. But again, it's all about time efficiency and making sure it's a candidate experience. So we're doing our best we can to use SparkHire to the convenience of not only our client, but to the candidates themselves. Another great tool that we utilize is Google Docs. Christopher and his crew and team have refined it to be extremely efficient for our clients. Chris, you want to give a quick overview of what you've done and you and your team have done to create a great platform with Google Docs that is extremely efficient for all the recruiters, all the hiring managers, and provides real-time information?
Absolutely. So the Google Docs, what I really like about it is that although we have a really strong basis in terms of our Tempworks software for our applicant tracking system, each client, each employer that we work with has a little bit different process, and we like to cater to that process. so that we can make sure that we're meeting their hiring requirements. The Google Docs system allows us to create a process based on the client or the employer that we're working for,
Hmm.
and we can kind of fill in the gaps where Tempworks may not be as customizable. So if there's a certain process that you have, concerning either post hire or anything that happens after an offer, including employment verifications
Hmm.
or background screening, everything like that, we can track that on Google Docs, and it's up to the minute information. So every time one of our team members makes an edit on that Google Docs spreadsheet, it's updated and saved immediately. At any time, any one of my team members can log in and view the up-to-date information. What's also great is we can then take that document and share it with our client.
Hmm.
We can give them the permission to come in and view it only, so that they can't accidentally change any information that's on the sheet, but they can log in and they can view exactly what we're doing on a day-to-day basis. So if we have a client that really needs an update on a very crucial position, very important, we can say, this is what we've done today. As of this morning, we've made this call. We've contacted this applicant. We have this person ready to submit to show for interview, by the end of the day. You can view every step of the process. So, you can be as hands-on or hands-off with it as you'd like. We have
Hmm.
some clients that really like to check in all the time and view our process. We have other clients that necessarily don't view it. So it's really, as much participation as the client would like to
Hmm.
participate in the process. But it makes it very easy, makes it much easier than picking up the phone. You don't have to call us. You don't have to
Absolutely.
wait for an email back from the recruitment team. You can see what we're doing even as we're typing it into the Google Docs spreadsheet. So in terms of our efficiency, it's really increased our efficiency as a team, and it's really allowed us to give our client up-to-date information without having to be on the phone or email correspondence.
Absolutely.
So it's been a really great tool, and it's very customizable. We can make it fit any process for any client.
Well, and as we go forward with this and saying how it benefits our clients as a whole, Tempworks, SparkHire, Google Docs, we're able to put all this information into a very good format for reporting and metrics. Um, Something that is getting more and more common is, again, the efficiencies, where candidates are coming from, where actually not just candidates, but where the new hires are coming from. We've found to be successful. We've had to be creative in what we do with social media, with different ways to source in the community. And one of the things we do is track everything and then analyze it and do it efficiently. Can you give an overview of how you kind of, tie all these things together?
Right, yeah, and so we can take all the information that we have in our Google Docs spreadsheet, run reports. We can have pie charts, graphs, tables, things that
That's right.
are very, that can illustrate our performance, so we can easily show the client what we're doing. All of those pie charts, graphs, things will update as we enter in new information. So it's one of those things that once you get it set up and rolling, it's very easy to maintain. It doesn't take more than a few seconds to add that information in, and you get instant results, are able to see exactly where we're at, how many hires we've made, how many candidates we've proposed, how many people have been selected for interview, and you can track your metrics all the way down to hiring sources and everything from the Google Docs spreadsheet. So as much information as you put in, the more information you get back. So it's really a tool that really can help fill in any of the gaps that the applicant tracking system doesn't provide that information for.
Well, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that summary. And for all of you out there watching our podcast, we hope you found it informative. And again, we're excited about we could share a few things that we do that make us a little bit unique. And not only from the standpoint of efficiency for getting jobs filled and candidates touched, but making sure that all the hiring managers are happy. Our goal is to make our clients look good, and the organizational branding comes with being efficient and follow up, as well as the candidate experience. We use technology to our advantage, and sometimes there's a little bit too much that can be done. But in this particular light, we think we've gotten down to a nice niche. Thank you again for joining us today, and hopefully the information we shared will spark a few questions and ideas about how we might also benefit you in your organization. Chris, thanks again for all the information you shared and some of the day in the life of how you utilize all this technology and do it quite well.
Thanks, Brian. I look forward to doing this, more and sharing more with everybody about what we do.
Thank you all.